Hey guys, this is Captain Tigers here, and today we're going to be finishing this tutorial with Escape, which can often be the hardest and most punishing part of the game. But with these 5 easy steps, you should be on your way to a sub 120. Maybe, if you put in enough work. So, yeah, once you go through that text box, just go over to the CQ80 guide. It's kind of similar to the painting thing. Press A once, go down again. 3rd time's the charm. So, after this cutscene ends, we'll get to the beginning of Phase 1. In the meantime, I will go into the hyperbolic time chamber. Okay, now that we're back, Phase 1 can be slightly intimidating because you don't have a gun. But just jump and swim your way up this wall. Also, when you're swimming up a wall, be sure to spam B. You can go up the wall faster. The tutorial does tell you this, but sometimes players don't do that because they might gloss over the tutorial. That's a nice little time save. When this platform touches the wall, swim for him. Don't go too far forward, else these guys are going to see you. When this is about 75% of the way through, jump here. This section can be kind of RNG. So just try to navigate try to navigate on the ground where it's inked. Like so. That was a pretty good hallway. This is also kind of RNG. Sometimes both enemies won't shoot you, sometimes they'll laser you, sometimes they'll kill you, which is extremely rare. Just try to go up the ink rail regardless. This is not automatic ink rail. You have to actually move to get through it, so don't just stand there. Just keep moving. Don't spam B as well. You'll fall. Do a full jump. Go up. Full jump from the top. Turn around the corner and hug this wall. Don't go too far out or else these guys will see you. Once they start turning, swim, jump, get to the next anchor rail. Once you get at the wall, spam B. Jump across the gap. Full jump. Swim. That was pretty bad RNG. Swim. And you want to get to this second ink pool before this guy comes out. Make the little gap. And I'm going to show 2 different methods here. Because I feel like this is the first section where routes can kind of diverge. So the first method you can do is if you're on this kind of pace, what you want to do is once you get to the edge, hold left and then jump, hold top left, and go about here. And then go a little bit left, and then you should be good. And you can go to the checkpoint. Now, what would happen if you fail that jump? Or if you're not on cycle, if you make a mistake beforehand? Well, what you can do is just jump down instead and do the intended strat like this. I got seen there, so I'm a bit late, but should be fine. And as long as we don't resurface, none of these guys should see us. Oop, that was a bit weird, but we're just gonna wait. Oop. So yeah, that's one case. If you go a little bit too early or a little bit too fast to actually ink, you're gonna get punished. So be sure to have some patience within the stage. Like so. You just want to wait until that thing is at the bottom first before you start taking it up. So yeah, once this is rotated center, just hit up the boost pad and go past the checkpoint. Now for that enemy there, make sure he's past the center before you start jumping. Once this guy is perpendicular to the wall, once it's completely turned around, get on the boost pad and spam B up the wall. Wait till this is fully turned around. And then go up this wall to finish the phase. Again, I haven't done that intended strat in a pretty long time, so apologies if it's a bit sloppy. The one clarification I'd like to give is basically if you're respawning there from that jump point where you're riding that platform up to the second platform, just wait until it fully descends until you jump. Otherwise, you'll alert that guard pretty early on. Just, again, have some patience. And that should look a lot better than what I did. Hit the switch, and then jump over the door to activate the cutscene. So, again, we don't have a gun, but we're going to lure this Octo Stopper guy to hit the pyramid of crates in front of us. Take a line past this square, so you activate him early. Stand out this line. Wait till he turns red, and then you can go around him. Pick up the key, turn your camera around. We're making our way to the first half of the stage. Also, do not use Octoshot Skip unless you're going for world record. It's something that you don't need in your run. Especially at your level where you can improve by 30 seconds with much more than an RNG trick. Same with Rapid Matchmaster. Jump out from the checkpoint and then ride the ink rail. If you want, you can do these little jumps across the gap. I wouldn't really recommend it. It just makes getting the cycles a little bit easier with the elevator section especially. Yeah, so keep your camera centered and make sure you keep your eye on the ball as long as you can. We'll jump out from here. You want to stay in the center crate here. Jump right before the bullet hits you, and you'll destroy the crate without even having to do anything. Spam R before you touch the splat bomb so you can instantly deploy it. Like so. So important. When you land, throw the splat bomb and then get on top of the geyser. It's slightly faster to activate the geyser, or be on top of the geyser when you activate it rather than activating it preemptively. Throw the bomb out here to activate the switch. If it's half inked, you can actually pause the game to activate it. That's called pause glitch. Basically, when a switch is half inked in this game, you can spam pause to activate the switch early. So, kind of a neat backup. Cover ink here, throw a bomb. Here, you're gonna throw a bomb down, jump top right. Don't go too far in the middle, or else you get knocked by that. Throw a bomb about here, and throw a bomb here to get the other fan. And now we're on to this section. Basically, you want to hug the left side as much as you can. So jump out from here. So don't get hit by this. You're about halfway down this lane, throw the bomb, and then you can go up here. Pick up the Octoshot, and you want to ink the bottom there so you can swim out from the platform. See another time save, activating the geyser on top. This has been known to be faster since Splatoon 1. Get the crate there. You shouldn't tap shot that, but it's just a habit of mine. Sometimes that guy can see you, but you can just hold the trigger and you should be fine. Okay, this jump is actually kind of easy. So basically what we want to do is right when you enter this part of the rail, just hold B. So right before you turn the corner, just hold B. And you'll skip having to access the second group of ink rail squares there. I remember Volley did that jump and I was super amazed. I think all these strats are pretty easy for beginners to get good at. The cutscene trigger there can be kind of weird to activate. You want to ink that pillar right before you hit the trigger. If you don't ink it fully, it's fine, but make sure to ink the wall fully. This level is all cycles. It's probably the most cycle-intensive thing in the game, but this is basically the route that you want to take, and if you follow it to the T, you should be able to save an easy 30 seconds every time. Pretty self-explanatory jumps. Make sure your feet are ranked before you take any jumps, because if you fall on this stage, it can lose you a lot, about 40 to 50 seconds. You can actually jump over the green things here. Be sure to hit that balloon. I'll also try to show the backup if you don't make the cycle here. Near the end. Try to hug the left here. You don't really need the burst bomb rush. Just take a split second to make sure your feet are inked. It's gonna be a really punishing death otherwise. And you should be able to barely make that with enough practice. Now, what would you do if... Now, what would happen if you would say, like, die here? So what if you die right now? What would happen? So basically, the pillar cycles would be desynced, and then the next room would be completely off. So you'd essentially respawn here, and maybe kill one of these enemies for safety. Go to this fence here, stay on top of it, and then ink this. You can also take the jump from about here. And now after I die here intentionally to reset the cycle, it'll essentially be the same if I made the fastest cycle on the stage, so don't be too confused. So if you die, this will be completely desynced, so don't wait, immediately die. This will make sure the normal cycles are normal. Well, the cycles are normal, or how they're supposed to be. Just good form down. Take a couple of these jumps, keep moving forward. Try to ignore the 10 missiles, you'll be fine. That jump can be kind of weird. And hit up the boost pad. Nice, very good. Sometimes it's kind of RNG whether that guy dodge rolls or not. I think it's dependent on what frame you hit him. But it's too precise, so I call it RNG. Alright, and that's the end of Phase 3. A lot of weird jumps. Alright, Phase 4, everyone's favorite. If you want, you can throw a bomb at that laser to make inking across the ground a bit easier. But those strats only say about 2 seconds, so I'm not going to try to do them. If you jump too late, there's 2 different ways you can die on these things. You can either run into the bottom laser by jumping too late, or jumping too high in a really small square. So your head will actually touch the top of the laser. So be sure to time it well, so like that. I'll try to show a safe route for the ending. If you have to wait here, just wait. It doesn't lose a lot. I like to throw a bomb there so I can hit this switch a bit easier. But it's pretty minor. This section is kind of weird. If you want, ink the wall before you hit the switch so it's easier. Hide up here. And then after it passes, go back down. There's 2 ways to go through here. You can either take the wall up here, like that. Or if you're a daredevil, you can take the jump through here, which is kind of risky, because you basically have to do a short hop through the center of the lasers, because it's the highest. Like that. But if you don't want to do that, you can just take this, not as bad. Once you're done, go here. Then timer jumps, so you don't touch the laser. Pretty safe strats for Phase 4. Now, Phase 5, it's pretty important to know the route, and there's a lot... Stuff like the jump that saves 2 seconds to access that switch earlier, and to skip taking the anchor L, and alcove lists. You don't really need those when you're starting out. You're not really going to be getting... Because every time you miss a cycle in this stage with that thing up there, you're going to lose about 20. And with the strats, if you execute them well, you're going to be on the second fastest cycle every time. So, yeah, just ink in the beginning, pick up the inkjet, hit this, boost into it, ink the 2 spots in the wall here. You can ink it 3 times. Sometimes you'll get hit there. That's fine though, because once you touch your data point, your armor is removed. Pull it forward a little bit, boost pad up, and go up the wall. Jump twice. And then you're going to be taking the anchor rail all the way up here. And basically, hit the data point from above. dive into it, and then immediately hold back on the analog stick and spam B. This will let you go back on top pretty easily. Ink the wall here. Move it left and right a little bit so you don't get hit by this guy. Takes a little bit of practice. And you want to take about 4 shots on that wall there so you can get up pretty easily. You don't have to kill either of these sniper guys. You can just hit the data point and dive into the pit. Oh. Okay. It's fine if you get hit, because the next data point will restore your armor anyway. This section can be kind of weird. Basically, you want to stay neutral, so all the shots, enemy shots, are aggroed onto you. So stay neutral, anchor the wall right in front of you, and then go out. So, time to switch it as you're falling, and then take the sync rail, so you get into the alcove. A little bit slower, but definitely a lot easier. And now, you're going to want to go to the right here and anchor the wall about 3 times. So you can get up the side of the alcove. Take this giant wall here, and most of the time, you might have to wait an additional 10 seconds for this thing to rotate to you. But basically, you want to collect the data point when it's facing left or right, not down. Left, right, or up is a good spot to collect it, because that means you can get back on this pillar thing to get the final one. Take this for a bit of safety so you don't fall. And boost twice to finish phase 5. Final part of the stage, you just want to hold ZR as you're coming towards the ground so you instantly ink the ground. As you're super jumping towards the stage so you can ink the ground immediately when you land. And phase 6 is also probably the hardest stage in Escape for a lot of players. But mostly it's just about positioning and managing your ink tank. So the main mechanic that you want to understand is that tap shotting the power core a little bit at a time makes it go at a set speed, and you don't lose a lot of ink. Because if you stand there just shooting, you're going to lose a lot of time because you're going to be constantly running out of ink, and you need ink to make the power core go. And it's kind of an escort mission in that regard. So right in the beginning, you're going to throw a splat bomb, like so. Wait till your ink touches the yellow line, so you actually have another splat bomb for this section coming up. So you just want to shoot the bottom of this. When the red light is under the green sprinkler on the left, throw a splat bomb, like so. Hit the balloon and then kill this guy. And this way you're going to have an ink tank for the next section coming up. And then you're going to rotate to the bottom left here. I like to shoot the bottom of the power core because it can be kind of detrimental shooting above, because sometimes your shots can get eaten by the enemy's hitboxes, and that's kind of unfair, because you'll lose a bit of time on the cycle coming up ahead. Usually you can make this missile cycle that I'm in right here, but if you feel like the first one is going to hit, just wait a tiny bit, and wait for it to reset. Yeah, just keep staying in the bottom left here so the enemy bullets don't hit it. You should be... That's probably the worst that can happen, right there, because my position was a tiny bit off, but most of the time you shouldn't die here if you rotate like I'm doing. It's a shot there, but it's fine. So, that was a bit close. I was able to make that, but waiting for these to pass only wastes about 2 seconds, mostly because of the distance that you have to travel. So, you just keep up the rhythm. And now I have about a full ink tank for this guy coming up here. So, when you reach the top, throw a splat bomb, kill this guy, bring the span down, pick up the ink tank, kill this guy. That power core acts as a splash wall, so if you get your armor broken from a missile direct hit, and the guy throws a bomb at the splash wall, or at the power core, the damage will actually come back to you. so you're going to die regardless. So don't try to hide behind the power core. You will probably die. Also, before that section, there's like a balloon on the left side before the first fan. You can pick that up if you feel like you're going to... if you feel like you're going to get hit. But if you hit both fans on the wall, it's pretty safe, and you can be pretty clumsy with your positioning. And you can use that strat for a while, too. You can probably get 720. Rotate to the right of it. Wait until that light on the left enters the bottom of the laser. Hit the switch and right. If that ball is in the middle of the runway as you're transporting this, wait. So this strat is kind of weird. Basically, you're going to hit one laser, and you're going to want to tap shot consistently under the laser so it damage boosts through the laser. It's pretty easy, but if you feel like it's too hard for, you know, whatever reason, just hit both lasers. But I think laser burn is pretty easy and sets you up for when you want to get really good at this game. Stop, hit the switch to the top. Again, if that ball is in the middle of the runway, or not the middle of the runway, but the middle of the pipeline as you're transferring the ball, wait, because it will always hit the power core regardless. If one pixel of that bowling ball even touches the power core, you're pretty much dead, so. Small time tip you can do is ink this platform before you go to the end of the stage. Makes swimming a bit easier. Sorry if I rushed through that a bit. I've done this stage a lot of times, but, you know, safe strats aren't that bad. Now, this boss fight has a bit of RNG. Mostly it's just the shot variance of your gun and the shot variance of Agent 3 and which direction she dodge rolls. But it's not like Octavia where it's completely uncontrollable. At worst, you'll lose about, 4 seconds to stuff that you can't control, which is a lot better than about 2 minutes that Octavia provides. So I'm going to cover elevator skip here, mainly because I feel like it's pretty easy. And it's a decent time save if you're pretty bad at pretty bad at the boss fight. So basically how it works is you're going to want to jump off of the edge of the map when the third text box completes. And when the third text box completes, the game thinks that you're already at the cutscene trigger. So when you die, all you have to do is like hold an input or a direction on the analog stick, and you'll instantly skip the elevator trip up. This is what a failed one looks like. So I'm going to jump really early. I'm just going to delay this jump and jump outside. So that was super early. That wasn't even before the third text box, so I'm actually going to respawn right at the bottom again. So just try to jump when you see the third text box completes, and you should be fine. You can go for this for a while and still save an okay amount of time, so. When this second text box starts, I like to count to 4.5, so 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, and when I'm a little bit done after that, I like to jump. Okay, that was a bit weird, but good jump. That was still second try, but that's okay. So now, once this happens, what do you do? Well, you can turn your camera and stuff, but if you move even an inch or press the button like that, you will warp to the beginning of the fight. As long as you understand the timing that I explained, the strat is pretty safe. Okay, so this fight is comprised of 4 phases. Also, that skip is called elevator skip. I forgot to mention. It was found by Tones and T-Boy accidentally in a tournament race. So shouts to them. So the first phase, he's gonna super jump in the top right here, and right when he super jumps, throw a bomb. If you throw that splat bomb a little bit too early, the splat bomb will actually get eaten by the splashdown, so wait a bit. Wait for the splat bomb to explode, so we can take a ton of damage, and he's going to be half health by the end of it. Go up here to see where he's going to... That's another thing, where he's going to jump in 4 and 2 is RNG. So you want to make sure you're aware of where he jumps at all time. Try to force this guy into the corner. Keep tracking him. Now, a good setup is you can actually get the baller into the corner. And make sure he can't really move. You want to make sure you have a full ink tank for that phase. Makes it a lot easier, because the baller does have a lot of HP. So, center out here, when the saucer starts moving, through a bomb, and then shoot him. The slap bomb timing ensures that it does enough damage when his hitbox is active, and then you can just shoot mindlessly and it'll die. So, this phase is kind of RNG, but the bomb strats have made it more consistent, so pretty much you want to hide behind a wall, so any wall on the map, like the pillar there, or the pillar in the top left. So that was fine. The bomb got in there. And this is probably the most common thing I'd see. Third try splashdown. They save about, I would say, 4 seconds each. You know, first try saving the most, if you get the bomb set up. And that's the fight. I wouldn't really advise going for anything better than third try splashdown until you have a sub 120, because the time save you would get from doing it earlier isn't truly significant, and you can really improve your movement and execution of strats that way. So don't worry too much. As long as you do that wall hiding strat, you should be good to go, because once he finishes his third splashdown, he's actually in a pretty vulnerable state for a pretty long time. So and now we're going to be getting into the final part of the game. I don't think this really needs a tutorial, because maybe a route will be required, but I will try to explain a basic route that works every time. So, see you guys until then. Okay, we're back. And yes, while this is kind of an auto-scroller because you have to wait for the balloons to come down, you can die in it if you fall off, if you even hit the water. Anytime before the timer ends, the 3-minute timer ends, you will die and have to redo the stage, and you'll lose about 3 minutes. So definitely take this as safe as possible, considering, you know, waiting through that 6-minute long cutscene isn't exactly the most fun thing in the world. I'll try to show you my route. If you get good enough, you can do the stage in under 1:40, but I would not advise that until you get a lot better at the game. You have a fair amount of leeway between each timer or balloon drop to get what you need to do done. So do it in any order you wish. This is just what I prefer. Hit this before you get on the ink rail. Now, you can either ride the ink rail to get these things in the wall, or you can actually hit it from the top, if you are so inclined. You can hit all these from the top, and then the last one you have to hit from this geyser, or hit from above this grate. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'll just do the safe route. Throw on here. Oh, that's fine. A little bit of an error. jump to get this first balloon. And you should be finished at around the 30-second mark. You should be able to finish at the top. There should be one more. And there you go. That's Octo Expansion 80%. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And time's going to end here when when the green tape appears. Be sure to get those times accurately. There you go. Say Asabo. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope this helps you in running Octo. It's a pretty fun speed game. I will catch you in the next tutorial if I do make one, and or in the next stream. Bye-bye. Yo, one more thing to add before I end this tutorial. I didn't mention how to actually practice escape because of the rest of the stages in the game. You can just kind of select a stage and be good. With escape, it's a tiny bit different, but it's actually pretty consistent. So what you're going to do is just go to the Metro, and then go to the Blender. You're going to choose the top option. So go over here. I can't remember to play this game. So yeah, press A in front of this, and they have 3 different options. Cancel, which will obviously take you out. Watch the credits, and then remember the fight, which will take you to the first phase in the game. And I'll try to demonstrate how this is useful. So yeah, don't skip any cutscenes when you're practicing, because you can't skip them in a run. The cycles are going to be super different. But say I died right in the beginning here, and I wanted to redo this. I would just select Imagining Gopolis, and then select Octo Expansion again from the menu, and it will put you right back in the phase that you left off. To leave escape entirely, just select this option. To get to the phase that you want, you have to death abuse to get there. So if you wanted to practice phase 6, you have to death abuse all the way to phase 6, which could take a little bit of time. And be sure to never select this, otherwise you'll be kind of screwed for about 20 minutes. So, but yeah, hopefully that helps you with practicing escape. It's probably the most important part of the game to practice overall. And I will see you all later.